Trust me, trust me on this one. Let's go with it. So
Let's go with what?
my question.
We believe what the Quran says, right? So we don't take our knowledge about the cosmos or the universe just from what people say, right? People can have theories, people can say things happen.
We believe that God created everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
That's what we believe.
If that, in a nutshell.
Was there one point in existence that God created? So God created like things like instantly.
Anyhow you want it, yeah?
God created
Whether it's
time as
instantly,
well.
whether it's...
When you say a point,
everything,
God created everything including time.
Yeah.
He can create instantly if he wants.
Everything.
He can create over a period of time if he wants.
My question is, did he, like according to your belief, did God have a set variables like time, space, everything at one point?
He created all that. All
He
the above.
created all of it, yes.
All the
Yes,
above,
he did.
yeah.
He created
Excellent.
everything. Yeah.
Now,
I'm sure we're gonna get the point soon. I know where he's going anyways, but I'm
No, let him ask, that's fine.
Yeah.
all right. Now, do you agree time started somewhere? At one point, time started, correct?
Obviously.
Obviously.
If it was
okay.
created, it has to start somewhere, sometime, isn't it?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Now, so time started with set variables, correct?
What do you mean set variables?
Do you believe in universe?
What are the variables of time?
What? As in the. What do you mean?
That's what you said. You said time started with a set variable. What are the
What do you mean
variables
by
of
that?
time?
I'm asking you.
Those were your terms, my friend.
Huh?
Those were your terms.
Yes,
Time
the
started with
variables. What do
Set
you mean?
variables.
So particle placement, the gravity.
Are you talking about
That's got nothing to do with
physical existence, or are you talking about time, which is metaphysical
I
abstract?
talk about space and time or just time?
Time and space.
Okay, so it's a space-time continuum.
Yes.
Okay, is that what you're saying? Okay, what about that?
All right. So the root of my question is, if we agree that this was the start of time, and we're here, because time passed, correct? Did time not pass?
I don't follow what you're saying.
Okay.
Time is a change.
It's a change in...
Okay, is
two
time
things.
linear?
Right?
Is time linear?
Time, look, you're going now to the theory of relativity, you're going to this, that. Look,
no, I'm not.
Look, I'll tell you what we believe. Look, we believe time is a change from point A to point B. That's what we call time. So
It's
you
in a
moved
nutshell,
right
yeah.
now, right? That's a change that changes time.
So everything.
That's in a nutshell, yeah, as
So
I
A
just
to
said,
B.
yeah, basically.
Yeah, let's say it's linear. Okay, carry
Everything
on.
was set from B, A.
Yeah, let's say it's linear. So what?
So A had all of the set variables.
It started at A, went to B. That is one point in time.
Okay.
What is it you're trying to say from
Now
this?
let's make it like a C in the middle. Right?
Okay.
So A, C, B.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
They even make me too confused.
Or you can call it ABC. We understand the point. Doesn't matter.
Right. So let's go to the middle point.
Yeah.
Do we agree that everything from this point led to this point?
I don't follow. What led to what? Are you saying it's linear?
Yes.
Okay, so it's linear. Then what?
So if time is linear,
Yes.
then
what?
like, okay, you didn't let me finish, but life is predestined. Like the universe has
Yeah.
there is
So
no
for
free will.
us, time is linear.
Yes.
But for God, there is no such thing as.
Okay, but I'm not talking about God. I'm talking
No,
about the whole
but when
universe.
you say predestination, you have to include God in the equation. You can't
No,
just
no,
say
no.
because predestination is predestined by whom? By God. Do you agree? And
No.
for God, there's no such thing as linear time and so on, or linear space or so on.
No, because someone can believe in a Big Bang, and there was a universe expansion, which means that there was a.
What does that got to do with
start point.
predestination?
Because you asked me, you told me
Right?
if it has to relate to God. There has to be some.
No, I'm saying for God, things like time and space, He's not subject to them.
Okay, I'm not.
Because before
disagreeing.
time and space existed, God existed. Do you agree?
No.
Well, if you're talking about predestination and God, then let's define God and predestination
We don't need
first.
to- we
Because we
don't-
are all over the place otherwise.
We don't need to define it. We just need to have these 2 points.
Which points?
A and B, which you believe
Okay,
in.
from whose perspective? Human perspective or from the perspective of God?
Universal.
No.
The whole
From the
space.
perspective of God or from the creation's perspective?
Okay, now you're trying to force a person into believing in God.
Are you asking what we believe in?
No,
Do
you
we believe in a
mentioned
creator?
predestination. Am I right? You mentioned
Yes.
predestination. So
Predestination
predestination,
is equivalent
wait.
to free will.
Can predestination be conceived without bringing God into the equation?
Yes,
Do you know what predestination is?
yes.
Okay, what is it?
That everything has been set
By whom?
by the starting
By
variables.
itself.
Sorry, by whom?
Starting variables.
No. Variables are not something that they can think and imagine. Variables are just points within an equation, for example. I'm asking you, who predestined things to happen?
Look, his point is this. You say you believe in determinism.
Okay, actually.
Right? You believe in determinism.
Yes.
If you believe in determinism, who is the determiner?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Oh,
It's a simple question.
Or predetermined, if you're talking about that.
We'll go with this. We'll go with this. Okay. Let's assume that I believe in God. Right. Let's assume that I believe in God.
Okay, now you have to
So-
define God if you assume that, because otherwise we'll just
Yeah.
talk. Basically, we'll be just talking to each other, but not understanding.
There's no.
We have to come to a common understanding when we talk about God.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So we can skip that part. So God created
Everything.
everything,
Yeah.
the variables from the beginning.
Everything.
Okay. Do we need to go back to God?
No, we know God.
I'll leave you the measurement.
God is self-existing, uncreated. Okay, if we understand that concept, then we can move on to Him creating everything, including space-time and the planets, the galaxies, everything.
A to B.
Yes,
Do you believe in universe expansion?
I believe the universe is expanding. Yeah,
Okay. And do you believe there was a first starting point?
there was a
There was a starting point.
of the universe.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So I don't understand
So, Hashim,
why you wouldn't believe.
We will be asking a
It's okay,
question.
just ignore him.
Okay, I don't-
Why you
Okay.
did not disassociate yourself
Carry on,
from
yeah.
Abu Qasim, who's a convicted terrorist.
Focus here, it's alright.
Okay.
Focus.
2 weeks ago, and why you knew
If you
about
focus
the
here
fact
and ignore
that
him,
he
if you can manage to do that, that'll be
was
easier.
Old Bailey for a
Alright,
whole
let me
year.
just-
Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
To try and
So if we
hide
agree
it,
A
or
to B
worse
and
still,
universe
was
that those
negligent in
set
your
variables
behaviour.
created,
It doesn't
then
matter
can we-
how much
can
you
we,
try to ignore me. My
can we
voice is
reason that
stronger than
everything
most
was
of yours,
based on
and
these
I'm
set
more
variables
stubborn than you,
that God created?
And I will not be going nowhere.
Okay, which variables you have to define them?
Respect
So Big
yourself.
Bang, do you believe in Big Bang?
I believe that there was this something that God originated with, whether you want to call it Big
Yeah,
Bang
yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
So the universe had an origin. The universe had a cause. Yes.
Yes.
And we believe that God is the one who created the universe and everything
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
Okay. And can we now move on from there? What is the point you're trying?
Okay.
Do you believe that, by the way? Do you believe that the universe had an origin?
No, I don't know.
What are we talking about then?
I'm asking you.
So what if he's agnostic?
I'm asking you because you believe.
I've
you
already
believe
told
in
you
A to
several
B.
times the universe was created by God.
You believe
at
in-
some point in time.
You believe in A to B.
I believe in some point of time God created the universe. I mean,
So-
I can't get any more clear than
So
that.
why would everything not be caused by the? If you agree everything was from a starting point and the universe has been expanding, why can't you select from this point and go to this point and agree that everything that was caused from there was from this point? Does anyone get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think you're trying to say that the time started with the origin of universe. Is that what you're trying to say?
Do you understand what I'm saying?
You're saying that everything happened and then cause and effect, and then we got
Yeah,
to
cause and
it.
effect.
Yeah, so cause and effect. So what caused the first Big Bang?
That I'm asking you. It's not about who created cause, because I'm acknowledging your process of you believing in God.
Okay, I believe in God. I believe God created at a particular time the universe. What is your question after that?
Is the point of free will? If you believe in cause and effect, how can you say that there is free will?
What has cause and effect got to do with free will? Where's the link between the two?
Because if your actions are determined from beforehand, how could you say you have free will?
Determined by whom?
By the previous point in time.
No, we don't believe the time determines our actions.
But you believe in A to B, a linear
That's
pathway.
why I asked you, what do you understand by predetermination?
You believe in A to B.
My friend, I believe time, yes. I believe
Yes.
time is a creation of God. I believe space is a creation of God. I believe in the space-time continuum. That means both of them are kind of together, yes, and
Yes.
linear, yes. Now, where does predetermination come in this?
Because you believe in cause and effect. The cause was God, correct? Then
For me, yes.
Yes.
What is it for you?
it's irrelevant.
It
right
is
now.
very relevant because
No,
you're
it's
the
not.
one asking questions.
No, it's not, because I'm trying to dismantle your thought.
Yes, you're trying to what?
I'm trying to dismantle your argument.
Dismantle my argument. I didn't
Yes.
make any arguments. You asked me questions.
Your
I answered
argument-
it based on that.
Your argument is you believing in God.
My friend, you're the one who came and you wanted to ask a question. What is the question you want to ask?
Mike,
Is it about predetermination?
it's about whether
No, let's
Islam-
break it down. Is your question about predetermination? Yes or no?
yes.
Okay. So what do you understand from my perspective is predetermination?
So-
Who predetermines? Who is a
God-
predeterminer
God-
in my worldview.
God determined the universe to start.
No, about predetermination. Who predetermined things in my worldview?
God.
Good.
Yes.
Now, do you believe in predetermination?
That's irrelevant. It's irrelevant to me. Because you're gonna try and attack my view.
I'm not attacking your view. You didn't tell me your view yet.
Exactly. That's
How can I attack your view?
Because I literally said right now, if I told you, you try and attack it.
Oh, so you don't want to tell me that's the reason?
Yeah.
Okay,
it's,
good.
it's relevant.
Remain safe, no problem.
Yeah.
I won't attack anything if you don't want to reveal it, no
It's
problem.
fine.
Okay, look,
That's the whole
I
point.
believe in the creator,
Yes,
I believe in the
just said
creation, and I
Just
believe
said
in
that.
predetermination.
Just said
So where is the objection here?
The objection was of cause and effect being, meaning free will doesn't exist. If cause
Why-
and effect, if cause and effect is you believe in cause and effect,
Yes.
then free will can't
Are you
exist.
saying because everything is predetermined?
Yeah,
How
there's
do we
no
have
cause and
free will?
effect.
Yes.
Is that what you're
That's
saying?
his question.
Okay,
If everything's
so
predetermined, how do we
when
have
you,
free will?
do you believe, I believe that we as humans have consciousness. Yes? Do you believe the same?
Yeah.
You believe in
Yeah.
consciousness? Is consciousness something that you can see? You can have, you can observe in a laboratory? How do you know you have consciousness?
Okay, you can absorb consciousness if an organism is making choices, then
Then what?
That is sentience.
Well, an artificial intelligence can make choices.
Okay, but
Does it have consciousness?
exactly. So
What do you mean exactly? Does it have or not? Does a robot with artificial intelligence, which can make choices based on the programming, yes, does it have does
Yes.
it have consciousness?
Yes.
I don't think so. I don't think you know what's consciousness.
I think because my belief is our brains are equivalent as machines. That's my.
Our
thought.
brains are not machine, bro.
Okay.
Our brains are much more, what do you say,
Alright.
complex than the most complex computers in the world today.
Okay.
All right. Your eyes are more complex than the best lenses out there.
Okay. But
What do you mean? Okay.
Because-
Do you think the consciousness in you came from nothing?
you're not. Can you just listen to me? Just listen. A to B. Was this point?
You have been doing A to B to C for ages now.
Yes, but you're not understanding.
I am understanding. What you're defining is the linear time. Then where does predetermination come in this equation?
Can someone hold their fist up here? Can you hold your fist up here? Right? Everyone's this point was caused by this point. Yes.
Say this point was what?
This point was caused by by this stop.
This fist was caused by this fist.
This is A. This is B.
Okay.
Yes.
And
So if we reverse time, we go back to the start. Do we agree everything? If we reverse it, then there's a linear pathway, correct? Either way, there's linear. Do you understand what I'm saying? All right.
I'm trying to understand cause and effect
Yes,
and
cause and-
predetermination. Where are we getting to with this point?
My point is, if everything is based on A,
Yeah.
how can you say you have free will? Because everything, if all of the particles are placed, if you pause time right now, there's a certain particle placement. Can we agree?
Particle placement. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
Okay.
And what is the point of that?
So that
What's that
means-
got to do with predetermination?
So continue time. We reach this point.
Yeah.
So that means if we pause time, that alignment of particles has led to this to this section.
Okay. And
So therefore, all of these particles mean all of these particles mean that free will.
you haven't thought it through, have you?
Yes, I have.
You haven't.
Yes, I have.
Okay. So if, let's say for example, a plan, an architect makes a plan. Yes. And the plan is executed perfectly by the builders. Yes. So the plan was to create a skyscraper. It was as a blueprint before. Yes, the architect thought it through, and then there were some people who basically constructed the skyscraper. Yes. You can bring cause and effect in there. You have a plan in there. Yes, and it was executed perfectly. And now we have got the tower built perfectly. Okay. God designed the world similarly. Yes, God had a plan, and then it was executed, and here we are today. So every action that we do, every action that the tree does, every action that the sun and the moon does, yes, is something all that was predetermined before. Yes, so God knew about this because neither time nor space he's subject to it, it applies to him. It was all something that was planned. Now, you're saying that, how is that not free will? Yes? Let me ask you this. That was the reason I asked you the question the first time. When you came to this park, Yes. Do you believe somebody forced you to come here?
No.
Good. So it was free will?
No.
If it wasn't forced, it wasn't free will, then what was it?
Particle placement.
Yeah, who decided to place those particles from A to B?
Start of time.
No, but who decided that? Did you have any?
That's what I'm saying. According to your belief.
No, I'm talking about you. Now I'm talking
my
about,
personal
yeah,
belief.
it's not your belief. It's about your perception of free will. I want to understand that because maybe it's possible that we are talking cross purposes. We both are talking the same thing,
Yeah,
but we
I
are talking
think
we are talking cross purposes. That's why I want to know from your worldview,
Okay, fair
what
enough.
do you consider to be free will?
Free will is to make actions that are not based on
That are not
on
forced.
previous choices.
That are not forced.
That are not forced.
Yes.
Based on time, because if you base it on time, then me hitting the floor right now was based on my action
Exactly.
and my thought.
Exactly.
There was some subconscious choice in my brain.
Well, I
that
don't know
made
if
me
it's
hit on the floor.
subconscious. I think you came here consciously with your own choice and with
my-
your own free will.
I think I had a choice, but in fact I didn't.
How do you know that? Did
Because-
somebody force you?
No.
No.
No. Look, what he's saying is.
Is what?
Your belief is that.
Now I'm talking about you guys now.
Yeah,
Did you,
yeah,
when you
okay,
came
no,
to
no,
the
no.
park?
Let me say what he's trying to say.
Okay, go on.
Look, so he's trying to say that if me a week ago, if God had planned for me to be here right now a week ago.
No, forget God now because you guys don't believe in God.
No.
So you can't say-
That's what I'm saying from your perspective.
No.
You're-
Remember you were explaining from his perspective just now.
Yeah, I know.
You said
that-
I'm
no,
going to
no,
tell
no,
what he's
I'm
thinking.
saying his point.
Okay, what is his point?
His point is that you see a week. Okay, no. I'll take a week in the future. God knows exactly where I'll be and what I'll be doing 1 week in the future.
Yeah, God knows everything. Yeah.
Yeah, and he
Because
knows
of
what I am
particle
here now.
Yeah.
But then what he's trying to say is what leads me to there is my actions and my choices, and that's free will. But if that is that's what you're trying to say, right?
Yeah, if that's.
But you believe that's free will, right? You believe that's free will. Your choices and your actions are based on your free will. Am I right?
Free will. I don't know if free will is the right word.
That's the reason I asked, what do you understand by free will? Because we might be talking cross purposes without realizing it. So when you talk about free will, what is it that comes to your mind and your mind?
Free will is a construct.
It's a construct, so you don't
Yes.
think it's real.
Yeah, I don't think it's real.
So as an agnostic person, you don't believe in free will at all. So every action of yours is determined by whom?
By the set point. But we don't know
Wait, what do you mean set point?
the start of time.
Yeah, but time has got nothing to do. Are you saying time determines your actions?
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly what
So you're saying what you're talking now is something based on just what time is telling
Yeah,
you to
yeah.
do.
Saying
It's
time
not-
has
not-
consciousness, and
Time.
that's what pretty much you're now saying.
Yeah, every single particle placement, because we are made of particles, right?
And?
If we go to a supermarket, we can get every single compound, every single chemical, every single thing that's made of our body, right?
Okay, so you're made of molecules and atoms
Yes.
and what?
And those molecules are controlled by time, correct?
No, absolutely not.
Because time
Absolutely
is
not.
It's not a conscious being. that's
Exactly.
Controlling.
No, it's not something
Time is just a
physical. It's
change.
not something. Let me rephrase. Time restricts the particles.
No,
because-
time is only the difference from point A to point B. So for example,
Okay,
you
but-
might have a body right now, you know, your cells are regenerating every time. So maybe when you were young, yes, your body wasn't the same. Your body has now grown, even though it's still your body, it has grown now. You see, so from time of your childhood to the time of your teens, maybe, you have grown in size. You see what I mean?
Yes.
Do you think that time was the one who actually made you grow? Or time is the factor that you see that you have grown from childhood, so it's just a measure of point A to B. It's just a concept actually. Do you know that? Time itself is a concept, and time is what determines your difference between your childhood to your teen, to your adolescence, and maybe to your adulthood later on. But this is what I'm saying.
But you
But
believe
you
in the
cannot
concept
say,
of
wait, you cannot say that time was the factor which was responsible for your body changes. Your body changes are for your chemicals or your biology or your physiology which has changed. But it wasn't. The time is just a measure of from point A to point B how your body has changed. Time had nothing to do physically with your body whatsoever.
Time is not like they're controlling
Yeah,
you, telling you.
Why not?
that-
What-
You know, because you know when we tell our children
You believe
to
in-
do a certain action, they do it because they obey us as our children obey us. Well, most of them at least. Yes, the parents. So we are actually somehow telling them what to do, and they are obeying us. So you see, that change in their action is based on what we instructed them.
Yeah.
And the same thing with the computers, you know, when you
What
actually
about-
program a
what about
computer,
God?
they follow certain instructions and they go.
Yeah.
But you cannot say time is not
But is
something
it
like you
God
said,
that's instructed
time
me
doesn't
to
have
do stuff?
consciousness like the way you have consciousness.
Is it God that's instructed me to do stuff though?
No, God, yeah, God tells you to do certain things. Now it is up to you to obey or to reject God's commandments, and that is what we call the difference
But
between.
God knows if I'll reject them.
Yeah, of course God knows.
Okay.
And what is the point? If God knows, it's like your teacher who's been teaching you for the whole entire year. Yes, she knows in your class who's going to fail and who's going to pass based on how hard or
Why would
how hard
God,
they work and how much they run.
Why would God make me reject him?
No, you're the one rejecting.
Yeah, but
So,
he made me.
Listen,
and he made
God
me.
gave you certain
He just
faculties.
knows if you're going to reject or not. But
He
it's
knows,
down to
but
you.
he hasn't decided.
No, it's down to you with your
Okay,
free
but
will.
if he knows what's gonna happen next week and everything in the rest of the world, then I can't change that.
No, but it's down to us.
My friend, it's like the example of the teacher and student.
I know, but look.
But
if-
he's all knowing. That's the point I'm trying to make.
yeah, he's
But
all
it's down
knowing.
to you.
Hear me out. Look, I'll give you an example. You might understand better what that. Imagine there's a teacher. Well, there's.
I understand exactly what you're saying.
What am I
I
saying?
just mean that
What am I saying?
you're saying that God knows everything, and God knows what I'm gonna decide, but He doesn't decide what I'm gonna decide.
No, he doesn't basically force you to
Yeah,
decide.
exactly, that's
He
exactly
doesn't
what-
force you. So, for example, if God wants to
Use a
give you,
different word.
if God, I let you because you're saying the same thing over because
No,
you're not
I
letting me
haven't said
finish.
the same thing once.
You did not let me finish the parable with which you'll be able to understand this whole concept very easily. Yes.
Okay, we
If
gotta
if
leave.
a teacher in a class knows the
Yeah.
good students from the bad students, yes, and the teacher says for certain these students who are not working hard are going to fail.
Yeah.
The teacher knows this.
Yeah.
When the test comes, yes, and they have given the test, and when the results come, the teacher knows that these are exactly the students that he had pinpointed
Yeah.
to be failing. Now, whose fault it is that they failed? The teachers who knew they were going to fail, or the students who did not work hard that they
The
failed?
teacher didn't know that before they started working on it.
No, I'm saying from the year before the test, the teacher
Yeah.
knew who was going to fail before the test, because throughout the year he has been with them, so he knew before the test
Yeah,
was
yeah.
given who amongst the students are going to fail, because he knew that they were not working hard.
Yeah, but yeah,
Now
yeah.
wait. The question is this now: would you blame the teacher for the failure, or would you blame the
No,
students for
I'd
the
blame
failure?
the student for the
Exactly.
failure. That's not what I'm saying. Look,
Exactly.
I'm not-
So even though the teacher knew this,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
you cannot blame him.
I understand.
Same thing with God,
I
my
agree.
friend. Same thing
I
with
agree.
God.
Yeah.
If God gave you certain
Yeah,
commands
I
and
agree.
certain
That's what I
instructions, and if
understand.
you
I agree.
willingly reject them,
Yeah.
after it's become
Yeah,
clear
yeah,
to
I know
you,
what you're saying.
you cannot blame God.
Yeah.
Okay, now,
I can leave. Actually, wait. Do we have to leave right now?
Now finish your point.
did you understand the concept of
Yeah.
test? Because you see, this world is a test.
Yeah.
We have things which are good things and bad things in our life.
If God knows that we're gonna rebel. If God knows that we're gonna rebel before He creates us, why would He then create us?
So
Rebel.
that on the day of judgment, you cannot say that God, you didn't give us a chance.
No,
This is your chance now.